like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Na Diorpop White Heart Sparkles. Today, we're not talking about charts, records, or headlines. We're slowing things down and focusing on something much softer, something that doesn't need statistics to be felt. Just a few words, spoken casually, yet powerful enough to stay with you long after. A moment when Jungkook looked at Jimin and, without exaggeration or drama, called him an angel. Sometimes, it's the smallest sentences that reveal the deepest emotions. And today, here at Na Diorpop, we invite you to step into one of those quiet moments, where a smile becomes a source of strength, where warmth turns into energy, and where affection is expressed in the simplest, most sincere way. That afternoon arrived without any kind of announcement. There was no grand stage, no roaring crowd, no blinding lights. Just a simple sentence that slipped out of Jungkook's mouth, yet its impact felt far louder than any concert cheer. In a light, almost casual tone, Jungkook said that Jimin was an angel today. To some, it might have sounded like a sweet compliment. But to those who truly paid attention, it felt like a confession drawn from a very deep place in his heart. Jungkook has never been someone who easily pours his feelings into elaborate words. He tends to hide them in small gestures, a gaze that lingers a second longer than necessary, a smile that appears unconsciously, the way his body naturally leans toward Jimin whenever they share the same space. That is why the word angel, coming from him, felt especially meaningful. It was as if something he rarely voiced finally found its way into language. Koala to Namsu, the cutest creature in the world, he said first, laughing lightly, as if easing everyone into the moment. But then, with a softer tone, almost like a thought spoken out loud without planning, he added, front-facing baby chick Jimin is also the cutest angel in the world to me. The words weren't loud. They weren't dramatic. And precisely because of that, they felt painfully honest. Jimin, in his own quiet way, carries light wherever he goes. Not the kind of light that blinds or demands attention, but a warm one, like morning sunlight that touches your skin gently. There is softness in every smile he gives, sincerity in every small laugh that often escapes him without warning. He never tries to be the center of attention, yet attention seems to find him anyway. For Jungkook, Jimin's presence often feels like a pause button. In the middle of packed schedules, endless expectations, and pressure coming from all directions, Jimin becomes a place to breathe. His smile, described by Jungkook as a vitamin, gives a kind of energy that nothing else can replace. Front-facing baby chick Jimin's smile is like a vitamin that gives me energy tangerine, Jungkook once said, and the sentence sounded simple, yet carried a weight that lingered long after. A vitamin is something small, often invisible, but essential. Without it, the body slowly weakens. Jimin's smile works the same way for Jungkook. It doesn't always appear in big, dramatic moments, but in the quiet in-betweens, in an empty practice room, backstage before stepping on stage, or at the end of a long day when exhaustion settles deep in the bones, that smile becomes reassurance. A silent promise that things will be okay. There are days when Jungkook grows quiet, lost in his own thoughts. And Jimin, without needing many words, seems to know exactly how to approach him. Sometimes it's just sitting beside him. Sometimes it's a small joke that sounds insignificant to others. Sometimes it's simply that smile, the one that asks for nothing, expects nothing, and exists purely as presence. And perhaps that is where Jungkook sees the angel. Angels are not always depicted with large wings and radiant light. Sometimes, they come in the most human forms. They laugh, they get tired, they have bad days too. Yet they still choose to bring warmth to others. Jimin, with all his own vulnerabilities, still chooses to smile. Still chooses to care. Still chooses to become a source of strength, even when he himself might need comfort. For Jungkook, calling Jimin an angel doesn't place him above others. Instead, it is an acknowledgement that in a world that often feels unbearably heavy, there is someone who makes it feel lighter. Someone whose presence alone can shift his mood. Someone who, simply by being himself, gives him renewed energy. That sentence, "Jimin is an angel today," feels like a reflection of a bond built not overnight, but through time. Through long days spent together, through shared laughter and shared exhaustion, through countless small moments that may never be captured by cameras. It is the result of genuine companionship, of understanding each other without needing explanations. And maybe that is why Jungkook's words resonate so deeply. Because he wasn't trying to make them sound beautiful. He was simply saying what he felt. That on that day, and on many other days too, Jimin was his angel. An angel who arrives with a smile. An angel who gives energy. An angel who, without even realizing it, becomes a place where his heart feels safe. For those who heard it, the words may have lasted only a few seconds. But their meaning stayed much longer. They remind us that behind the glittering world of entertainment, there are real human connections. There is gratitude, admiration, and warmth that cannot be staged. And somewhere in the world, without wings or glowing light, Jimin smiles. The same smile, one that Jungkook calls a vitamin. A simple smile, yet strong enough to make someone say, with complete sincerity, that today he saw an angel. Baby angel sparkles. That smile does not fade quickly. It lingers, settling quietly in the hearts of those who witness it, especially in Jungkook's. There is something about Jimin's expression, soft yet certain, that seems to whisper reassurance without ever needing sound. It tells a story of comfort, of familiarity, of a bond that no longer needs to prove itself to anyone. As time passes, moments like these become small anchors. They ground Jungkook when the world feels too fast, too loud, too demanding. In a life where almost everything is measured, views, charts, numbers, reactions, Jimin's smile remains one of the few things that exists without calculation. It is freely given, effortlessly sincere, and perhaps that is why it feels so precious. Jungkook has grown up under the public eye. From a young age, he learned how to stand strong, how to keep moving forward even when exhaustion crept in. Yet even the strongest hearts need rest. And in Jimin, he seems to find a gentle kind of rest, not one that stops him from moving, but one that allows him to continue without losing himself. Calling Jimin an angel is not about perfection. It is about gratitude for that quiet refuge. There are countless memories layered beneath that single word. Late-night conversations when the world finally goes quiet. Shared laughter over things only the two of them fully understand. Comfortable silences that feel full rather than empty. These are the moments that slowly build trust, affection, and something deeper that does not always need to be named. Jimin, on the other hand, has always carried a unique sensitivity. He feels deeply, cares deeply, and gives deeply. Sometimes, that sensitivity makes the world feel sharper. Yet he never lets it harden him. Instead, he turns it into kindness, into attentiveness, into warmth that reaches others. Jungkook seems to recognize that. He sees the strength hidden within Jimin's softness, and perhaps that is another reason the word angel feels so fitting. On difficult days, when fatigue settles in and doubts quietly surface, Jimin's presence becomes a reminder of why they started, why they keep going. Not for applause alone, but for the people who stand beside them, who understand the journey from the inside. A single smile in those moments can feel like a hand reaching out, steadying the heart. And so, when Jungkook speaks about Jimin, there is often an unspoken tenderness in his tone. It is not something he announces loudly, it slips out naturally, almost shyly. Yet those who listen carefully can hear it, the appreciation, the comfort, the affection woven between his words. Calling Jimin an angel is not a performance, it is a truth he carries quietly. Perhaps that is what makes these moments resonate so strongly with those who watch them. They are not grand declarations meant to impress. They are fragments of real emotion, shared without armor. They remind us that even in lives filled with extraordinary experiences, it is the simplest connections that matter most. As the days continue and time moves forward, there will be countless other moments, some captured, many not. Words will be spoken, laughter will echo, and silence will settle in between. Yet the meaning of that one sentence remains. Because once someone becomes your source of strength, once their smile becomes your energy, they do not stop being an angel after just one day. And maybe, in Jungkook's heart, Jimin is not only the angel of today. Maybe he is the angel of many days, the quiet kind, the constant kind. The kind who doesn't need wings, because his presence alone is enough to lift someone up.